little technical things. I thought I could connect my computer, but I'm just gonna wing it, okay? Yeah. And so, I own a business called I Am Super Conscious, LLC. It teaches you how to unlock your truest potential by releasing unconscious blocks, barriers, and integrate your shadow so you can manifest whatever it is you want in the fastest way possible. Now, the topic I was given today was to innovate and to create. So I had to look that up to really understand, what am I talking about? So innovate, to begin or introduce something new for the first time, and to create is to cause to exist, bring into being. And I couldn't imagine a better topic that works for what I do, and I'll explain how. So this is my AI photo. That's pretty cool. Is that close? What do you got? I posted online and people said, oh, that's beautiful, that's you, that's not you. And then my son posted and he says, that's creepy. So a little bit about me. I'm originally from Israel. I'm a top coach in a modality called Magnetic Mind Method. And it's just the fastest way to manifest. I work with groups. I have a full online university where you can literally plug and play and completely transform your life. But I also do one-on-ones with intensive shifts. So you could just release your boundaries. I'm also a reconnective energy healer. And I've always loved natural health remedies. And my thing is I love hacks. I love shortcuts. I love to get to your end results in the fastest way possible. So I studied all sorts of modalities, health modalities, herbalism, anti-candida diets, just the quickest way to be your best self. And I'm also the founder of a nonprofit called Dogs Without Borders. And they're based in LA, and through that I saved 7,000 dogs. Wow. And it's still going and saving more dogs, just without. Awesome. So because of this system that I'm about to tell you about, I'm just able to live the best life, and it can't be any better. Well, it's just the best always. So I have a loving husband. I love to travel. I love making my own schedule. I'm a supportive mother of my son. His name is Quinn, and he's a budding musician in Ojai. And I have a community of like-minded, super conscious community. And again, I just love, because of this work, I wake up when I want to wake up. I create my own schedule. I work from home. I spend a lot of time working outdoors and in nature. And I love to change lives. That is the most fulfilling part of what I do, is I literally see people transform before my eyes. And that is so exciting. Because, you know, it's all about fast, but hey, it wasn't always this way. I actually had an abusive childhood. My father, my sister, and my mother and I, my father's from India. He moved to Israel where you met my mother, so I grew up in Israel. And I was kind of a below average student, and I immigrated to the States as a young teen. So boy, I was really a fish out of water. I didn't belong, I didn't know the language, and I didn't fit in. And besides that, a really poor body image because I was like a stick. I was so thin that people always commented on how thin I was. So I developed low self-esteem, low self-worth. I wasn't living up to my father's expectations, whose grades were most important to. And yeah, so that's kind of how, oh, and my sister, all the boys looked at her. She was a really good student. And yeah, I was kind of living in her shadow. And when I graduated and then I got married, I married a talented architect. I still set out to heal my wounds, my childhood wounds. I was a victim. I was traumatized. I lived from dysfunction. And that defined me. And I just went and tried everything. I tried therapy, I tried everything under the sun, self-help, seminars, to just overcome myself and feel how I wanted to feel. And it's been an endless journey until this, but I moved to LA and I dabbled in the entertainment industry, but then when I had my son, I just couldn't do it anymore. And I knew that there was more. I just wasn't sure how it was. But somehow I found it. I started a dog rescue after Hurricane Katrina when I saw all the animals, the displaced pets, and I started volunteering for local groups in LA that would take them in. And I was hooked. I was like, oh my God, I've always loved dogs. My dad hated dogs and we couldn't have them. And so I started this rescue, and suddenly I created something, and I felt pretty good. I was like, well, I found meaning to life. I created something that makes a difference, and I was proud of myself for what I had created. But I have to say, it was really, really hard work. And I was stressed most days. I was overwhelmed. I woke up every morning feeling dread of the weight of the world on my shoulders. I just didn't feel like I thought I would feel. And so here I am in Live Happy magazine. They said how happy I was, but I wasn't. I wasn't happy. So I tried to augment my income because running a nonprofit that I created, I wasn't worthy of a salary that I could live on. So I tried network marketing and MLMs to try and augment my income. I wanted to someday be one of those people on stage telling my story of how I persevered and how I'm now like this huge income earner. And but all the products I still use. I tried like 4 companies. So I clearly believe in the products, but one after the other, when it was the 4th one, my husband said, what are you gonna do different this time? What's gonna be different? Because you keep quitting, what are you gonna do differently? So I was like a little light bulb went inside my head, and I was like, oh. I mean, I had an answer for him, but inside I was like, what am I gonna do different? So then it hit me. That's what self-sabotage was. You go for something, and you have all intention to be in that end result. However, somehow, it fizzles out, doesn't it? How many times have we taken 1 step forward and 2 steps back? And then 2 steps forward and 1 step back? Like, what are we doing? There's like an invisible force that before we know it, we give up on our dreams and then start something else. And that was me. The truth is, all I wanted to do was be free from myself. I did not want to have such a busy schedule where I was working all the time. I started a business. I don't know if any of you guys here, you started a business because you wanted time freedom, but instead you created shackles, right? And you created the opposite. You're a slave to your business. And I created exactly that. I didn't have enough money. I didn't have any time. And even though I created it, I created just another pattern of how I wasn't worthy of having what I want. So I had to break free from that life, and I wanted to get away from it, but I just didn't know how. I prayed that something would come my way, and it did. And this man, his name is Christopher Duncan, and he changed my life. He's from Australia, and the truth is, when I met him, he was hired to be a coach for billionaires. He's a multi-millionaire. He has a $20 million a year company, and he was coaching billionaires. He was actually about to coach Mattel's owners and move to Malibu But then the pandemic hit. So he moved things online and he taught me a few things. And then he asked me to come on board and work for him and run his programs to mastery level. And I have learned so much from this person, and still am, but this is what I learned, that we have an unconscious agenda that's sabotaging us all the time, and we don't know what programs are running underneath. We've been living in the wrong structure. Oops. So we manifest with our conscious mind. Like we say, I want this with our conscious mind. We go for more satisfaction in life with our conscious mind. Okay? But the unconscious wants something completely different. It has a completely different agenda. It wants to stay the same. It resists change. And so we go for something. You know, the unconscious was formed in the womb and kind of fully formed around 5 years old. And so it learned everything from our parents, including our ancestors, including even past lives. Everything was passed down and coded in and locked in from the time we were 0 to 4 or 5 years old. So think about everything you learned about money from your parents. Who now takes advice from 20-year-olds about money? When you were that young, how old were your parents? And it was pre-verbal. You heard them struggling about money. You heard them trying to have a better life. You heard them say confusing things like, I wish I won the lottery. People with money are crooks, right? Like, you're confused. That's all running an unconscious agenda right now underneath. We're not even aware. But it's programmed mostly for survival. That's why it doesn't want to change, because clearly you survived. You survived being a victim. You survived your trauma. Here you are. You survived it. Therefore, your unconscious says, that's safe. There's a saying that goes, in the family of thieves, the honest child feels guilty. What in your family of how do you need to belong to your family? We're not sea turtles when we're born and we just go into the ocean. We cannot survive outside the womb. We must belong to our family and prove it to them. Belonging is the most important aspect of the unconscious. Why do you fear judgment so much? Is it safe to have what you want? Then whose voice are you hearing of what they would think? That is your unconscious. And this is how you ensure you belong to them. You must learn the rules of your family. And we develop these core wounds to learn how to be more worthy of love, how to be good enough, how to be significant, how to be capable, how to be perfect, how to belong, how to be safe, and how to be allowed. Because as children, we were not allowed. That's locked in. Who feels not allowed to have what they want? Who feels that in their body? I want this, but I'm not allowed. I want this, but I'll lose my belonging. I'm not worthy of having that. I'm an imposter. I don't belong here. Even as I ran my rescue, and I was like running a $500,000 a year, like tiny, you know, with a tiny staff doing all this work, I was such an imposter as a running, like it wasn't real. It's not real, but it's coded in. So I don't have time to get too much into these, but everyone has one or more of them, and there's more. So here we are. The subconscious goes for more quality instead of quantity. The unconscious goes for quantity. As long as you survive, doesn't matter if you're happy or sad, as long as you survive. So who's the bigger brain? Who is really in charge? So the iceberg represents, because our self-conscious says, I want this. I want to be fulfilled. I want the life I love. And so it dips into the unconscious and say, what was survivable? Because we automatically go for the how. How can I have it? Don't worry about the how. You're missing the entire ocean of possibilities. But all you know is this limited everything you ever experienced. How limited is that when you're missing an entire ocean of possibilities? So we must step beyond the unconscious agenda. So we go through this superconscious. You are also superconscious. Your spirit in a human body, you're a pure creative genius. You're not just a mind, you're not just a body. You are an energy being. That's who you are. Everyone take a breath into your heart and just know that you are an energy being inside right now. Just know that this is also you. You're not just run by an unconscious and a self-conscious brain, you know, that's so limited. You are all. The unconscious takes the superconscious takes instructions from your conscious and unconscious, okay? It just heeds your instructions, and you tell it what you want, but it's always been with you throughout all your lifetimes. So it's more you than any other you. It's more you than you in this lifetime because it's the truest version of you. It's just here so you can have a human experience for consciousness expanding onto itself. This is the awakening part where you are also superconscious and you realize I am source energy and I'm here for experience and expansion. There is no judgment of good, bad, right, or wrong. Any experience expands consciousness. You are a part of that, and that is within you right now. It is the truest version of you. So if the superconscious and all your minds were this ship, okay, and I said we manifest with conscious and unconscious, your superconscious just takes instructions. So this is what it looks like. You are the captain of your ship. That is your self-conscious mind. And it wants to make impact. It wants to live authentically. It wants to feel centered and complete and whole. It wants to be who you were meant to be and live to your fullest potential. You want the love, you want the impact, you want the body to love your body. You want to live and make your own schedule, life on your terms, right? And your unconscious is the crew. And you tell your unconscious, I want that body. I want to feel this way. I want the loving relationship. I want a successful business and financial abundance. I want to feel the impact. And unconscious says, well, you tell it, we're going to set sail at 0600 hours, and your unconscious says, who do you think you are? You're not worthy of that. You don't know how. You don't have time. You got to go take care of these other people, and what will others say, right? It will throw out every excuse under the sun. Who's found excuses to take care of others and put up somebody else's fire and go fix this or that so you can't go for what you want? Your unconscious says, whew, crisis averted. We don't know if all that you want is survivable, right? Thank goodness you got ill. Thank goodness you had that accident. Otherwise, you could have had what you wanted. So the ship, as the superconscious, just takes instructions from the captain, and the crew goes, you want it? You don't want it. You want it? You don't want it. Back and forth. And it does not know how to be. And that's why we're always kind of just coasting, but not getting anywhere, okay? Because it's not safe. We're in uncharted waters, literally. So there's the powerful brain. I had that in twice. So another thing is structure is our focus. When you focus on what you choose, what you want, there's only action to take. However, we believe that once we have, this is our current reality, and this is our desired reality, think, just fill in the blank. What would you love to have? Because we're going to go on an exercise. Oh my God, it's taking so long, sorry. We're gonna go on an exercise real quick. I'm gonna shorten the exercise, but I want you, we're starting the exercise now. If you wanna participate in the energy work, you start choosing. If you had a magic wand, what do you want today? What would you just love to have? And don't go dipping into that iceberg. I want you to dip into the ocean. What would you love to have if you could just have whatever it is? Now I want you to imagine who you are there. Because most of us think that once we have it, everything will be better. But guess what? We have a problem to solve first, that we are worthy, that we are good enough, that it has to be perfect, and we have to be allowed. So we go and we take another self-help course, and we go get another therapist, and we go and we say, hey, I have this problem, I have this trauma to fix, and I have to, my victim, I was a victim, my father abused me, and as a woman, I have these limitations, and I can't make as much, and all that. And once I get rid of that, then I can have what I want and be happy. So what is that to you? Now, the problem is that focus creates reality in the energy world. So guess what you're doing? I am not enough. I have a problem to solve. Then I can have this desired reality. So what do you get more of? All of society is like this. The problem. I focus on now is not enough. I have a problem to solve, and the universe just shows it to you. Oh yeah, here's that problem again. Oh yeah, there it is. There it is, right? Because you're actually in the wrong structure. You need to be in a creative-based structure. Who are you once you're worthy? Because you are enough right now. You are enough. Who are you without the trauma? Who are you? Who are you if you're not a victim? Boy, that's a big responsibility. To take charge and say, who can I just be? So I want you to think about what you want and how it would feel if you had no past. I want you to let the past go. You're an alien that just landed on this planet, and you're just closing your eyes. I'm an alien. I want that. What's missing? What's missing? Your past. Can you feel it even stronger when you have no past? You feel, and if for you that actually just went on that exercise I just asked you to say, if you have no past, go for what you want, it feels different because you're not attached to this. Your focus on this is gone. So you have to be it to see it. You have to be the you that's enough in all ways to have what you want. Because this is just a construct, a belief. It isn't real. It's just your unconscious wanting to survive. Is having a life you love survivable? Is it safe? Of course it is. It's safe to have what you love. But your unconscious says it's not safe to have more money than my parents or the male figure. It's not safe to be seen and be powerful and shine my light. It's not safe. So how does this go with innovate and create? Is you become your new identity now. You get to innovate. How do you want to be? You get to choose it. What we do is integrate your shadow through the energy work, that I tap into your superconscious and just give some commands, and you start releasing some of those blocks. You don't have to relive it. You don't have to talk about it. You don't have to give it power. You just say, I'm going to choose to innovate and tell a new story of who I'm becoming. And we create what you love instead of focusing on what you want to get away from. You create creativity. You don't problem solve because of the focus. So focus, you're trying to get away from. What happens when you push on a swing? It'll just come back at your face. you go towards what you love. So, because of this, this is what happened. Everything changed in my life. I no longer wake up in stress and overwhelm. I wake up in joy. I feel better. I have more energy. My income, everything in my life changed. I was able to retire, step down from my rescue. I left it with my friend in really good hands, and I live life on my terms. I help others now, and I can't even, I mean, these are testimonials that, I mean, this bodybuilder, she was just a shop clerk. This woman, her career exploded, and her intimacy with her husband of many years, she has two grown empty nesters, so she was able to release some blocks and have some amazing sex. And then, you know, this woman, she was like, literally, my life was a black hole until this. Now I love my life. She no longer needs meds for anxiety. She is in self-love for the first time in her life. It's endless, but anyway, how we do it is in 5 steps. Do I have time for the energy process? I'll do it.
You got about 5 minutes.
5 minutes. All right, so when I was talking, what story would you like to let go of today? What is your biggest fear? I want this, I choose it, but fill in the but without even thinking. What's the but? Fear of success, fear of failure, fear of not belonging, fear of shining my light, fear of being seen, being heard. What shows up for you? I want you to choose to let that go. So I have a 5-step system. You choose, you align because you teach your body what it would feel like, and then you release the blocks, and then you must take an action. You must show your unconscious that you're doing something differently. This is so important. You must show your unconscious, I'm taking a different action. But it's easier now because I release the block, and then you transform. You rinse and repeat, and that's what I do. I also incorporate frequencies and write in my sessions for fun, but that's basically how it works. Now you have a river of desire, and these are the boulders, your unconscious boulders. Give them a number on a scale of 0 to 10. 0 to 10, how big are your boulders? Just it's your own measurement, just think about it, and give me permission to access your superconscious if you choose to participate. And close your eyes. It's a closed eye process. You just listen to me passively talk to your superconscious as a collective. I want you all to connect to your end result of what you'd love to create. And just choose it like you have no past. And just choose to let go of that fear. And as I connect, I'll sit down so I don't fall over because it's closed eyes. And just close your eyes and just choose to get the most out of this, and we'll release the block today. And superconscious, everyone here, see the choice, and you see the resistances and the blocks. Please create the treatment plan in the perfect way and order, and remove the resistances as needed to fully align with that vibration of the you that are becoming, the highest version of you. And just receive it, and just receive that release. Just allow it to be let go of. I want to treat the victim identity. I want to treat the people pleaser. I want to treat the wounded, the perfectionist, the self-doubter, and the overthinker. Treat them, please. Treat the throat chakra, please, and all the chakra systems. Just align, balance, and restore the body. Superconscious, treat the trauma event, the original event, as needed. Treat fears. Fear of loss, fear of success, fear of scarcity, fear of abandonment. And treat all the I'm not enoughs. I'm not worthy. perfect. I'm not lovable. I don't belong. Treat that fear of rejection. Treat all the I'm not enough and flip it. I am fully enough. Do a massive change history and everything that's needed. And to the part that's not awakened, that just awakened, that hasn't joined, please show it that it's for the highest good to join. And if it understands, have it join in. And once it's joined, repeat, do a massive change history as needed. Treat all priorities, please. And treat the family rules of I cannot surpass the masculine. Treat any suffering contracts and family rules regarding achieving, overachieving past the masculine energy. Thank you. Treat I'm not allowed, and that it's safe to have what I want. And superconscious fully align us with the us that we're becoming, the highest version, do a massive change history, and then ground and anchor the new identity back into the matrix of the universe, including everything we treated today. Across all memories and timelines, thank you. And I just want you to just take some breaths. I see some tears, and that's okay. As you come back, and just some of you feel it, some of you don't. Either way, you may notice that something feels different, something feels more aligned. So what I'll give you today is, I don't know, I have these flyers somewhere. Oh, thank you. That I'm running a special, guys. I have a full online university. You'll get a month in it, and you get a one-on-one with me. Obviously, I only have so much time, so grab them if you want them. And I also have free events. So if you go to my website, you can sign up to receive them. And I'm sorry, I don't have a QR for my website. This is just for $99. You get a one-on-one with me where we go deep and release blocks, and we get clarity on what you want for your truest nature and purpose. And then we go deep and clear it, and you can do your own work in the group. And then I do 2 live sessions every week in a private community where I go in and I do this on Zoom. And if you felt the shift today, you will continue shifting and shifting and shifting and shifting till you get clarity and you take massive action. So it's the fastest way to have what you want, because your unconscious no longer has the power to keep you stuck.